I want you to imagine this. You make the decision today to follow your excitement in every little way you can and every big way you can. A year goes by. Where do you see yourself right now in this moment a year later? Hi, I'm Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. This video was all about following your highest excitement. I've come to this belief time and time again from different books, different teachers, experimenting with this on my own, meditating on this idea that following your highest excitement is the best way to live. It's really the only way to live a true, authentic life to who you really are. I know you're gonna have questions like, well, what if my highest excitement leads me to eat all these unhealthy foods? But what if my highest excitement causes me to have an addiction? But what if my highest excitement leads me to a place where I get really hurt? Okay, maybe, but most likely your highest excitement is going to lead you to more health. Most likely your highest excitement is going to lead you away from accidents. Most likely your highest excitement is not going to cause you to use substances or anything really in excess. Why? Because most of the time when we are led to overconsumption of anything, it's because we are trying to suppress something instead of being authentic to who we are and living from our truth. If you haven't seen my last video about that, go click here, I think, or down below, because I feel like that's sort of a prequel to this video. But coming back to following your highest excitement, it's not gonna lead you down a dark path. If anything, it's gonna help you clean all that up, because we tend to manifest accidents, we tend to manifest diseases, addictions, suffering of any form when we're going against who it is that we really are within, and the expression of that projected out. When we keep the true parts of us tightly held within, we tend to disperse that energy in backdoor ways, which can lead to overconsumption and addictions, which can lead to suffering, which can lead to disease, accidents, painful relationships, you name it. When we're actually following our inner guidance and listening to what lights us up most, that's when life starts to synchronistically bring us more to those healthier places, those more holistic, full, in alignment places with ourselves, other beings, our food, the world, animals, everything. Our circumstances start to become a lot more lighter and brighter versus when we are trying to swallow and suppress back who it is we truly are. Following your highest excitement is going to come in different forms, small and large. It's everything. It's not just, oh, I'm going to work a career that I really love instead of going and doing this 9-to-5 job that I don't like so much. It can be that. That is a part of it. But it's also, you know what? I'm going to choose to have that specific banana that looks really yellow and perfect because, I don't know, it's just making me feel drawn to it versus having that banana that's also yellow, but turns out we don't know this, but it's actually rotting on the inside, but you couldn't see it from the outside. And our excitement led us to the really shiny, healthy banana, which kind of looks basically the same to the other not so healthy banana, but that inner guidance within us just told us, you know what, I'm gonna pick that banana versus that one. I do not know why I pulled that example out. I have better examples that I can share, but I guess that was just one of them. It's like sometimes you won't even know the difference between what you're choosing, and both could be good on the outside, but your excitement will lead you to the one that's actually the best one and the one that's meant for you. Or let's move past the rotten banana example and look at, maybe you're trying to decide between going to the park or going to the beach. You could lay out and have a beautiful picnic at the park, or you could lay out and have a nice tanning session at the beach. Both are things you love to do, and at different times you might feel more called to one over the other. And the only way you're gonna know that is based off of what feels more exciting to you right now. You equally love the beach and the park, but which one in this now moment is exciting you most? And that's the one you should choose. That being said, maybe you just have a lovely day at the beach and you just get to enjoy the day, and that's just another day of pure bliss on this earth for you when you choose the beach. But maybe your excitement chose the beach because you were supposed to run into somebody that you used to know on the beach and reconnect and start a business together. You're never really gonna know why your excitement is pushing you towards it until later on. And logically, it most likely won't make any sense. It's just based off of a feeling. And it's only when you look back at the situation in hindsight and say, wow, you know, something just told me that the beach would be better. I would have more fun today at the beach. I don't know what it is. I just was like, you know, I think beach. That's you following your excitement. Maybe the levels of excitement for beach and park were so close together, but you just listened to the 1% difference and went to the beach, and it completely changed your life forever. That's what I mean when I say it's going to be little things, it's going to be big things, and those little things might actually be the big things. Because although it doesn't seem like it from our earthly plane, in the higher realms, everything is really one thing. So it's no more difficult for you to go to the beach as it is for you to meet your business partner who you make millions of dollars with at said beach. It's always just one decision away. You're always one decision away from death. You're always one decision away from the life that you want to live. Everything else will synchronistically align due to these decisions. But you don't control the how. You can't force how things come together, even though you may try, and try you will, but you can't. It's the decision you make that changes the game. So once you make the decision in one direction, everything has to go towards that. So if it's a decision that is to your benefit, by following your highest excitement, things will synchronistically align in that way. If it's a decision very much in the opposite direction of that, things will still synchronistically align in that direction. But what would you prefer more? What excites you, obviously, versus the thing that you really don't want. And there's a whole spectrum to it, clearly. Like, it's not just black or white, positive or negative. It's definitely a scale of maybe a little less positive, a little less positive, neutral, a little bit negative, a little bit more negative, you know, like sliding scale, of course. But the more that we can choose our highest excitement, the more we can move up that scale into the highest positive possible outcomes for our lives and ourselves and those around us. Just to use some examples from my life, I made a very split decision to spontaneously go to a party that my friend invited me to last June 2023. And normally I'm not one to really go out and do that, but something told me within me to do it. It felt a little bit more exciting than just staying home that day. And I met two people who I've become very close with that I call best friends. At the party, I clicked with the two of them pretty instantly, and the friendship just grew and grew and grew throughout the year. But I never would have met either of them or became friends with either of them if it wasn't for me deciding, oh, you know what, I guess I'll just go to this party. It was that one party that I went to that I met these two friends who I'm very close with now. And you know what, I also experienced that almost 10 years ago when I met two of my roommates who changed my life in LA. I mean, they included me in their friend group. I got to mesh my friend group with them, and I got to live a very fun year with the both of them. I ended up dating one of them, actually, and one ended up being my first boyfriend. But none of that would have ever happened if I didn't choose to go to that party and then also go to the after party, where I decided to go up to one of them and have a conversation where we exchanged numbers and continued the connection throughout the rest of that year. If I didn't follow my highest excitement, even through the anxiety of, ooh, I'm going and talking to a stranger, I would have never had that whole amazing experience with those roommates and my ex. And that was based off of a few split decisions of following my highest excitement in the moment. Although those decisions looked really small, they ended up being life-changing. I never would have known that until looking back at them. Then sometimes there's decisions that we make that we know are big when we're making them, and those are equally as important to choose our highest excitement, like choosing to go after a specific career as opposed to going to college, or vice versa. For me, it was choosing to pursue social media and move to California instead of continuing college. And because I followed my highest excitement with that, then I ended up getting to meet those roommates at that party. So it was a chain of, I follow my highest excitement here, and then this happens, and then this happens, and synchronistically it's all happening. I'm not making it happen. I didn't say, hey, these guys need to show up at this party. No, I would have never known that from my human perspective. It was, you know, I feel excited to move to California and pursue social media. Whatever happens from that, I'll decide when that comes up. Sometimes we try to plan out our lives perfectly to a T, and then we look at those plans and we're like, I don't know if I want to do that. And if that's the case, maybe you need to throw the plans out and choose what excites you. Maybe those plans do excite you. Go with them. But whatever the case, follow your highest excitement. So the most important part about following your highest excitement is it's going to lead you to living your most authentic life and being who you truly are, which will then allow you to attract the people, circumstances, and things through synchronicity, like I was saying, that are most aligned and meant for you. There is literally no other way to do this than by following what you are most excited about in each moment, every moment, one after the next. And like I said, if you don't, it will lead you eventually to having to meet those needs and those desires through backdoor methods, whether you are conscious of them or not. That being said, I know it can be really challenging to follow your highest excitement at times when fears come up. Other people try to backlash you for doing things that are deemed odd or weird or not normal. And also, of course, dealing with the uncertainty of letting things that seem secure and certain go to go after things that seem insecure, uncertain that you actually want to do. The truth is, when it comes to that, at the end of the day, nothing is certain. Even the things that seem 100% in the bag, sure and secure, can change at any instant. Anything can happen. You can lose that job that you thought was so secure. That relationship with the person you thought was safe could end at any time. You just never know. So why not at least choose what it is you actually want, what you actually are excited to do, be, have, experience. The reality of life is that it's ever changing, ever evolving, ever moving, and nothing is going to stay stagnant for long. Even systems in the government, even systems in society that seem so firmly planted, structured, not going to change, will eventually change. Everything does. So it's worth facing those fears to just be who you really are and do the things you really want to do. Even if people are hating you for it or giving you backlash, they're probably just envious of the fact that they aren't living their best life and you are, because they don't realize they can make that decision just as much as you can. We all have that divine right to choose what excites us most in any given moment, whether we realize it or not. And that is relative. Choosing what excites you most will be different than what excites me most. Choosing what excites you most in a moment where you are in a situation that's more dense, that feels more stuck, that feels like you can't get out of it, is going to be different than choosing what excites you most in a moment where you are feeling free to choose whatever. Sometimes choosing what excites you most is just choosing a thought that feels a little better than the last thought. I'm telling you, it goes so far on the micro level and so far on the macro level, because as above, so below, as within, so without. And with that, I'm gonna end this here. I will see you in next week's video. I love you guys so much. Bye.